Rangers fans, as I said, they can't keep being let down continually, and yet they're continually let down. And whether it's Derek McInnes, whether it's Russell Martin, whether it's Philip Clement, whoever it is in the dugout, it's just the same old thing. It's just another guy that comes in, says things are going to be different, and it isn't different. Derek McInnes is going to have to prove, and he's going to have to prove really quickly, that he is the guy that can make the difference. I still think that he will be that guy, but I can completely understand why there's such a bad reaction to what's happened over the first 4 games and to that latest capitulation. For me, Derek McInnes needs to do himself a favour, and that is get shot of every player that he can that's been in there for too long and that has got used to accepting second prizes, and give himself, start with a blank canvas in September. Hope against hope that by that time you haven't already blown the league season, because then it's just going to be a wall of noise from the end of September all the way through at the end of the season. So difficult times, and I don't think Derek McInnes will attempt to sugarcoat it. I think it would be a mistake if he did do, and there's no point in any of us sitting here trying to sugarcoat it. If Derek McInnes had drawn up the worst possible start to his Rangers career, it wouldn't have looked very different from what he's actually got.
See, I mean, this is just my 2 cents for what it's worth, but we talked on here the other night about Rangers lacking an identity crisis, Keith, and that's not going to be solved by sacking Derek McInnes again. And I'll get stuck in the comments for this. There's a lot of people already saying, stop defending McInnes. Not that I particularly think we have, but they need to stick. They really need to back him as much as they can. To as you say, there's players there that we've known for 2 or 3 Rangers managers aren't good enough, and they're still playing games.
Yeah, I agree with that, right? Obviously, but I do understand where the Rangers fans are coming from. I completely understand it. They're furious, they're raging, they expected better than this. They're right to expect better than that. Derek McInnes probably expected better than that. He's probably surprised. I wrote it after the first game, Daniel, at Tannadice, that he probably got a right shock to the system that night, because as much as he would have been in with his eyes wide open, I think he'll have been surprised that night at Tannadice with what he saw. And he shouldn't be surprised 4 games in now, because it's the same and it's rinse and repeat. So, yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't see any point in pulling the trigger on Derek McInnes right now, but I think Derek McInnes will know himself. He can't go on like this. He's going to have to win games, and he's going to have to start immediately.
The other thing that's worth mentioning as well, Keith, we mentioned that Drewk was in the stands tonight. He was down to the bare bones, particularly defensively, McInnes. Do we think he'll get many more players in? I mean, I know he's already saying I think Drewk will be 10. But what's your thoughts? Do you think there will be a few more new faces coming in as well?
Well, Andrew Kavanagh said it, didn't he? And we've seen they are active in the transfer market. You could see from the balance of the team tonight, he desperately needs left-sided defenders, whether it's centre-halves or full-backs. I think he desperately needs somebody that can control a game for the middle of the pitch, because I don't see any of them that he's got in that area of the pitch that look capable of actually running a game of football. They've got all different qualities, but the one quality that you really need in a top class midfielder at Celtic or Rangers is a guy who goes, give me the ball, I'll dictate, I'll take it, I'll start stuff, what Callum McGregor does for Celtic, for example. Rangers don't have one of them, and that they don't come cheaply. So you would think they would need to find one of them. I think he probably needs a winger. Another one to add to the mix. Gassama might have played his way into contention a little bit.
Do you know the only thing I'd say about that, though, Keith, is did we not see this with Gassama this time last season? Remember, he was really good against Panathinaikos in a couple of the opening games, and then just faded away.
Yeah, absolutely. And wingers, they can be inconsistent.
Aye.
If they're not inconsistent, they're probably not signing for Rangers. Because they'd be, Gassama plays he's a 10 out of 10 every week. What a difference he could be. So you're not going to get that, but you certainly need more than 1 in 4 games. And he's looked quite bright, and I thought particularly in the first half tonight, he looked bright when he came on at the weekend. So he's maybe thrown a spanner into the works, or not a spanner into the works, giving Derek McInnes an option to think about. He looks as if he might be able to contribute something, although clearly you would expect that Drake will come in and be the first pick on the left-hand side. Yokota looks like a decent option on the right. I wonder if they still like a right winger. And the Chermiti injury means they're probably desperate for a striker. Majovski get thrown on late on, missed a big chance with a header.
Yep.
And just he doesn't look as if that's ever going to work for him. So I think if Rangers could find a way of getting him out the door, freeing up a wage and bringing somebody else in. They've been linked with a striker in the MLS today. God, the boy's name escapes me now. Kevin Kellis, maybe. Venezuelan striker, big boy. Yeah, he's similar. And Derek McInnes did say they were looking for somebody similar in profile to Chermiti. So in terms of his physical stature, he looks similar. He looks quick. He actually looks like a decent finisher, perhaps more clinical than Chermiti. So that's one that I think I could see Rangers trying to get that done sooner rather than later. But as I said to you, they probably need, if Andrew Kavanagh says they need 4 or 5, I think they probably need more than that. I don't think they'll get more than that. So you'll need to make do, but it definitely needs defensive cover. As I said, left back, probably a left-sided centre-half. I think he needs a midfielder. There's 1, 2, 3, another winger, 4, centre-forward, 5. And as somebody's just pointed out, they're not even going to have the Europa League cash now. It's Conference League at best.
Do you think that'll affect the budget? James writes in saying we'll not make Europa League cut the budget you had to spend. Obviously, conference money won't be as good.
I don't know is the honest answer, but I suspect not. I think Andrew Kavanagh has ring-fenced a sum that he's prepared to invest in the team this summer, and I don't think it was dependent upon European revenue. So I wouldn't expect that the targets will change. I think whatever targets they had ahead of tonight's game will still be the targets tomorrow morning.